I think the whole purpose of this provision is to prevent situations where perhaps a wrongdoer escapes the law simply because witnesses are intimidated and frightened to come forward, because by giving evidence their own safety may be at stake. So that's the purpose of the law. But the reality of the situation is, the way it's going to be implemented is this: the witness will possibly be in another part of the building, the court building, or even in a remote location. Their voices will be disguised so that the accused and his lawyer, and in fact everyone else in court, will have no idea who is giving evidence. Now, all this is well and good, but there are few issues that crop up with this. Number one, if the witness is in a remote location, is the witness alone? Or is the witness with someone who is coaching the answers out of him? Is an official of the court going to be next to the witness to ensure that there is no coaching and guiding and so forth? Secondly, part of the process of judicial decision making is for the judge to observe the demeanor of the witness, regardless of the answers, so that the judge is able to see whether the witness is hesitating or the way he's answering, is he believable and so forth. Now, if the witness is in a remote location, how is this going to take place? Is the judge going to be near the witness, which means he's not in the court? Now, that's not possible, because that isn't the law. The judge has to be in the same court as the accused person and the other lawyers. But if you're going to cordon off an area in court, then the argument maybe is not so secure. Someone may see the witness coming in and so forth. So there's a little bit of a question mark about the practical and logistical manner in which this is going to be done. But as a principle, I think it's a good idea. Also, my concern is that the police or the prosecution must be very careful about witnesses who may not be real witnesses, but who are coming forward to implicate someone simply because they know their identities are protected. So that may be very unfair. If you have the wrong parties putting pressure on certain people, then you may get innocent people getting framed for no reason. So these are the issues involved with this. Yeah.
Do you see this as a risk?
I think the benefit outweighs the risk. But like all things, it is about the implementation. It is about the way, the integrity of the people who are doing this. It's the integrity of the police officials who are getting these witnesses. As I say, in principle, it's wonderful, but the safeguards must be there. The judge has to be extremely cautious about witnesses like this. In fact, the situation of these witnesses is nothing new. We already have it in SOSMA. The SOSMA provisions already have this protection of witnesses, although not tested, but it's going to be tested with the Lahad Datu trial. For the first time, all these issues about witnesses who are not going to be identified is going to be implemented. So really, there is a possibility we are going to see how this works in January and February next year. I think this is to do with the Prevention of Crime Act. We are looking at people who are picked up for alleged involvement in gangsterism or other activities, and you want to find a way. At the moment, you can restrict them to a certain area. But the problem is, if you restrict them to a certain area, it's not very easy to monitor exactly where have they gone and what they are doing and so forth. Now, the electronic system is widely used in the US especially. It's very precise. It works like a GPS. The monitoring center knows exactly where you are, which direction you're heading, what time you went to certain areas and so forth. So if you have the technology and the software here, I think it's wonderful. But my concern is whether we are getting the latest technology to do this, and whether we have the personnel to be able to sit down in the monitoring center and observe this and record it. And more importantly, if there's a breach, is there a system of immediately apprehending the person who's got the system on him?
So meaning that we need to come up with an excellent monitoring system.
Yeah, I think the technology is there, but you see, like all technology, number one, you need to maintain the system. Number 2, you need the people who understand how to operate the system. And number 3, you must have the backup for the system, which means if there's something goes wrong, there is a squad that can immediately go and try and pick him up. Let's say he takes it off, for instance. If he takes it off, there must be an immediate alert, because otherwise, you can imagine the guy will take it off. If no one realizes it for a week, then the whole system doesn't make sense. Actually, additionally with this, what is good is that not only can you use it to tag people suspected of being involved in gangsterism and all that, I also think it's very useful when granting bail, for instance. If the court is concerned about granting bail in certain cases, then this system will ensure that the police and the court is aware of where the accused is. So that may be a better reason to grant him bail without filling up the prisons, which is a real major problem that we have in this country at the moment. We are filling it up because we have no choice. So this may give an alternative to the courts.
So this would help our current remand system.
It will.
It's overflowing with.
It's overflowing with people, and this may help by letting people, I mean, the concept is, of course, as you know, innocent till proven guilty. No doubt there are many crimes which don't allow for bail. That's fine, especially those that carry the death penalty and so forth. But with a lot of other crimes, sometimes there's this accusation, you may intimidate the witness, or you may be close to the witness, like sexual offences and all that. So this is great. While the allegation is made, this at least allows a person to be released on bail until the court finds him guilty or otherwise. Because otherwise, if you look at the allegation and the guy is put in remand for a year or so and then he's acquitted, then there is an issue of unfairness. So this is a very good way of preventing an accused person from interfering with the witness and keeping a tab on where he is.